Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dota Pit League season number 3 group stages. We have made it. We're here. It is our 6th and final game of the day. Our 3rd series now coming to a close between mYi and HellRaisers. We've had 2 great series prior to this. Tinker versus Power Rangers just finishing up, and then before that, Asus Polar versus Power Rangers. A lot of Dota. For those of you that have started with us and watched the entire day, thank you so much for sticking with us. That is a lot of Dota to watch. That is 6 games. That's quite something. And all along the way, there's been blood, sweat, tears, DDoSes, crying, sadness, and unfortunate situations. But we're here now with the 6th game, our last game of the day. We'll finish it out here. mYi down 0-1 against HellRaisers as they capitalize on a mid-game advantage and push it to the late game with Artez's beautiful, beautiful Dynamites with the help of Ninja and Pudge coming out with Goritz. So with that being said, we'll jump into the draft real quick. Again, as always, brought to you by One Game Agency, and of course organized, or rather brought to you by High Ground TV as well. We have Pitmuckle on the production, Mott Packs and stats as well, and mYi, how the hell are you, man?
Good. Game 2, and I will be thoroughly disappointed this game if we do not see a Magnus arise. And that is just because, I mean, what have mYi got to lose right now? What have they got to lose? Pick it for a rise, please. We want to see it. Interestingly, they actually let the IO go through the draft this time around, banning out the Shadow Fiend instead, and that's going to allow HellRaisers to pick the IO straight off the bat. So nice and easy start to this draft.
I'm not sure how I feel about letting the IO go, but they wouldn't do it if they didn't have a plan, I feel. And HellRaisers will take it. They'll gladly grab it up as their first pick. The question is, what do they pair it up with? There are so many options nowadays. They have, I mean, we've seen some awkward, but I guess useful pairings between IO and other heroes. And I imagine the most common one being obviously Tiny. I don't know how often they get a Wisp. They usually pair it up. I've seen a CK, which they lost to Alliance with. They also have grabbed it for, no, actually that was Alliance's heroes rather. And I don't see them really picking up IO a lot, honestly, for HellRaisers. Yeah, they really don't grab this hero that often. This is an interesting choice, but well, that answers the question. They go straight for the Tiny. Not what I was expecting, but certainly what they'll go for.
Yeah, nowadays when the IO's picked up a few months ago, every time the IO's picked up, I'd have said that's a Tiny. That's a Tiny coming straight off the bat, especially if it was picked up first. But nowadays you tend to get a lot more heroes. Bristleback's one of them, for example, that matches it with the IO reasonably well. PA as well is one that we've seen used in conjunction with the IO. But no, they're going to go for the standard Wisp Tony build, which you have to say is going to be fairly potent in that mid lane. Now that they've revealed it though, this early on in the draft, do you think it's something that mYi can maybe counteract with a pick of their own? And what do we think about the Magnus up against this combo? It's not exactly the star combo to go against an IO Tiny in the mid lane, is it?
No, definitely not. I mean, Magnus can see us from afar with the Shockwave, but later on in the game, he has potential to disrupt IO and Tiny when they relocated with an RP. He just kind of has to hold on to that Magnus reverse polarity and use it when they do relocate in. But it's definitely not easy. They'd have to roam another support there to help him out probably occasionally, and it's definitely tough. They could also pick a Disruptor if they want to. There's other heroes that are good against it. Juggernaut's not bad either. IO probably goes for a Ghost Scepter eventually, but we'll see how it goes. I do want to point out that they've only picked this hero 5 times, and they have a 60% win rate with it. So this is the 6th pick of IO. And so they're not super veterans of the combo between IO and Tiny. They really haven't experimented with it, which is kind of interesting that they grab it in this situation, but they wouldn't get it if they're not confident.
Because whenever I see HellRaisers play, it's always banned out against them. Honestly, every single game that I've watched HellRaisers over the last sort of 3 or 4 months, it's always been banned against them, or more often than not banned against them. And sometimes when they let it through, it's not picked up. But I don't know whether they play it a lot in scrims, and obviously teams are aware that they like to run the combo and they're extremely efficient with it. But I mean, yeah, like you say, it surprises me that they pick it up that instantly, especially after it was banned out in the first game, and they've only played it 5 times. Yeah,
that's the crazy thing to me, but I'm looking through their past games here, and it has been banned out a lot in the first slot by many different teams. So I think HellRaisers is probably pretty comfortable with it, and I think teams know this, and they don't want to give it away. And they get it this time, and that's the scary thing. we'll see what they could do with the Tiny IO. More importantly, what's their next set of heroes going to be? Who are they going to put in the safe lane? Who are they going to put in the off lane? Will they have as good of a performance for Artez as he had in the last game as that PL? And what will Afro-Ninja play? The Storm is still available, and it's still a very good hero, even against the Juggernaut. I think that hero is pretty damn solid. So there it is.
Oh, baby.
You wanted it. You're going to get it. The mYi Arise Magnus now finally coming online.
This game just got good. This game just got very, very good. And do you think this is going to be an off-lane Magnus, or do you think they're just going to... They're going to go hell with it. We'll put him in the mid lane. It's a rise. We'll see how he can do against the IO Tiny. I mean, if the IO is slightly out of position, then, you know, there's always the chance to skewer him back into the tower. You would not expect that to happen at this level of Dota, though. That is something that I don't expect we'll be seeing this game. In terms of HellRaisers' next heroes now, they have to kind of pick themselves up, especially after picking up the Rubik. They have to pick themselves up a reasonably strong dual lane, simply because obviously the IO is going to be very much hanging around in the mid lane with the Tiny, so there isn't going to be too much help down there on that bottom lane on the Radiant side. It also means you're not going to see what we saw last game, well, potentially not what we saw last game in terms of HellRaisers running those dual lanes on the side lanes. So we're not going to see an aggro dual lane coming out from them with any kind of axe dazzle shenanigans.
No Pudge for HellRaisers this time. How unfortunate. I'm a big fan. Unfortunately, it's not going to be the case probably. Speaking of Disruptor, we talked about it. It does get picked up. It's a pretty solid counter. I mean, all you have to do is just send one of those heroes back home, and then boom, that's it. It's just that easy. And then Magnus, obviously, I don't feel like mYi have the strongest lanes. It feels like they're going to get outlaned in almost every lane here. Disruptor's a very weak laner, unless he's supported by a stronger support, which Earthshaker is, but it's going to be interesting. Juggernaut, Disruptor, Earthshaker is a decent tri lane, but they're going to have to send one of those supports to help out in the mid lane for Magnus. I don't know how Arise plays this. We'll wait and see. For HellRaisers, I think they could go for the PL again if they really wanted to. It's not banned out. Instead, they go for another hero that was played in the last game, the Storm Spirit. They grab that one up, more than likely for Afro-Ninja. That could go in the safe lane as well.
Yeah, this actually opens the door then, because now if they wanted to, they could run an aggro dual lane with the Rubik. I'm not sure necessarily you want to be doing that into an Earthshaker Disruptor. Disruptor especially is a fairly defensive support and does decently well up against tri lanes. So more likely than not, it's going to be the Rubik, possibly roaming around a little bit earlier on, maybe farming up the jungle a little bit as well for the first five minutes of the game. And Storm Spirit, we imagine Afro-Ninja can just be left to his own devices down there on that bottom lane. But it'll be interesting actually for HellRaisers' final pick now in what they pick for Dread, because or even 111. I think that's going to reveal a lot about what they're deciding to do, both in terms of their laning, but also in terms of the first 10 minutes of the game as well. And meanwhile, my Insanity, what are they going to ban out as their final ban? What do they not want to play against here?
If you're thinking about off lanes at this point, if you're my Insanity, I'd say you ban out the Axe, in my opinion. Although you're not pairing it with another hero, that hero is still pretty solid on its own. They might not grab it, though. That's the thing. They think Spirit Breaker is a better option. And with a global strategy, I do not blame them. I think that is the right ban, actually. There's too much at stake when you give away Spirit Breaker into a global combo already with an IO Tiny and even a Storm Spirit. That is not fun to deal with. The Bash specifically, as Juggernaut maybe trying to Blade Fury away. I like the ban a lot. For HellRaisers, they have to ban out, let's see, an offlaner probably. I don't think they send Arise to the offlane of the Magnus. We discussed this already. I think they get rid of an offlane here as well. But what do they not want to play up against? We'll see.
I wouldn't be surprised if they actually picked maybe something even like a puck, something that could go to the mid lane if possible. And the only reason I say that is because we already know the Tiny IO is heading towards the mid lane most likely. So
right.
Storm Spirit against a Magnus, they could do it if they imagine that the Rubik is going to spend a lot of the time in the jungle or roaming around the map. The problem you've got is because of that Rubik pick, it does make it slightly difficult for the Magnus to lane up against the Storm Spirit if the Rubik decides to hang around. Otherwise, that would be a perfectly viable matchup.
That's the problem with the Magnus in the off lane. It's very difficult for really any hero. I do feel like the Rubik is going to try to zone out and stay around at least a little while. He might rotate elsewhere for a couple of ganks, but they don't want to play up against the Phoenix, which is an interesting off-lane choice, and I think that's a solid, because if you telekinesis, you could still maybe get Icarus dive off and Just kind of wait that out. The pull obviously not going to be there really early on for Storm Spirit, especially because AFNJ last game went for the 204 build, neglecting to put a point in that Electric Vortex, which is not unheard of, but certainly something we don't see super often.
Yeah, definitely. And the Fire Spirits are just really effective against Tiny as well, and Storm Spirit for that matter. And these are heroes that probably, if they can avoid it, don't want to be picking up BKBs. So it's a fairly sensible ban out. And, well, it's going to be a Centaur, a fairly safe standard pick coming out from my Insanity. And this is the one coming out from HellRaisers. I'm hoping it's going to be something a bit YOLO, but more likely than not, it's going to be like a standard axe.
Zeus offlane. No, they picked the Enigma, and it's the Enigma offlane, which I don't see. In fact, it's not picked as often, but it's still definitely a viable option. But it's greedy, and it can be punished, I think. I think it is definitely punishable, especially with the lineup that my Insanity have. We'll have to see how it turns out. What do you think about this Enigma pick, Wakey?
It is an odd one. It is an odd one. I mean, there's always going to be... The problem is, like, I suppose if you're giving farm priority to the Enigma in that offlane position, he's probably not going to get actually as much as he would from early levels in the jungle. Which is, I mean, that's like one of the reasons Enigma tends to be picked up quite a lot. It's because he can get so much out of the jungle. So actually putting him towards that offlane, I just feel like there's other heroes that can benefit from the offlane position a little bit more. But hey, there you go. Maybe they'll leave Dread up here on the offlane while Enigma jungles for the first few minutes. You know, you might see that happen. I
was thinking maybe Gortz gets a couple of levels and then rotates the jungle, like we see so many different offlaners do, like Axe, the Bat Rider. Yeah. I think that could be an option as well. And I mean, it's not the worst thing to sack an offlane. It's just that Gogi knows he's got to get free farm. As terrible as that mid matchup might go for Arise. You know that Gogi is going to get that free farm, which he didn't get in the first game, which is a very, very big plus. So,
yeah, interestingly as well, it doesn't look like it is going to be the Tiny Wisp in the mid lane.
Oh, God. There's a fight breaking out. Artez in trouble. Already got skewered back. Glimpse back down to the low ground. Artez one click away, and it is going to be first blood for Arise. Milan maybe overextending. No Malefice, obviously. Wanted to be skilled up by Gortz. This is the problem. When you try to go for a rune with an Enigma, you can't really do much because you generally go for the Eidolon, and if you go for Malefice level 1, you're pretty much useless. Telekinesis down from Dread onto Milan. That's just a waste of mana. It doesn't really do much other than a couple extra right clicks. Milan probably goes back home. He could just tango up, or somebody could give him a salve, but in the end, it is going to be that first blood, and that is huge actually for Arise because is that a bottle coming out?
Look at Gogi though, stuck on the cliff.
Oh no, I didn't even notice that. Oh, no.
It is an absolute disaster. And I didn't notice with the action that was going on, they managed to find themselves first blood. But I tell you what, they trade that back for a Juggernaut all day long. He's going to be up there until 3 minutes. I'm pretty sure it's not possible to be able to send a courier.
We'll see. The courier's coming. Nope, he can't get it. He can't get it. Oh, Gogi. I feel for you, man. Even if he did get the TP scroll. So we said something about Gogi getting free farm. I don't think so.
Happening. All of a sudden, this beautiful Enigma offlane pick. HellRaisers predicted this. They knew that they were going to be able to
next level.
Next level indeed. And this Enigma is going to get so much from this top lane now.
Oh man. Alright, it's like I don't think I would rather. I think.
Oh, this is true actually. Did you see the Reddit post where with the Earthshaker? Apparently, you can actually get them off the cliff with the Earthshaker, I believe.
Just using Fisher.
He has to stand in the right position. I think he has to stand exactly where he is now, and then the Fisher has to go along here, and then he gets pushed this way.
Okay.
And then down there. But Oh yeah, you need power shot to cut the trees, of course.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. How many trees do you actually have to cut? Because he has a couple of tangos. I'm curious. Either way, it's not going to matter if they don't know how to do it. It's just a lot of theory crafting at this point for no reason. And again, that is going to give HellRaisers such a good start. And the Enigma not only getting a pull off, he's up to 9 last hits. He gets a Hellburst Smasher. His Soul Ring is pretty much it's done. He gets a full Soul Ring. There's no way that Juggernaut can get off the cliff because Milan is not coming to help out. He's heading bottom instead. This is oh my god, this is one of the biggest disasters I've seen. Gogi actually just can't do it. He's literally AFK right now.
Yeah, it is the worst thing, and it's not even like when Dendi got pushed up there the other day, because he was a Wind Ranger, so at least he could farm this medium camp. Gogi literally can't do anything. He's just sitting there. He is just a glorified ward at this point.
Hands off the keyboard. Might as well be watching something on like YouTube, watching who knows what. Meanwhile, bottom, there's an engagement. Maybe, goddamn. Which, by the way, we thought about maybe seeing this aggro dual lane in the mid lane, which is so very common between IO Tiny, but that didn't happen. They sent him down bottom instead.
I think that's not the worst decision in the world, because either way, whether you put the Tiny Wisp there or the Storm Spirit, they're both going to have a pretty decent time up against the Magnus. So...
Now, Rise is actually taking a bit of harass coming out from Artez. And by the way, Artez was, of course, the DL player last game, so Ninja now playing the Tiny. And
oh, Mal, guess what's about to happen? The TP is about to come to this Juggernaut, and Rubik is just going to roam around, and as he TPs, just lift him up again.
Well, he has Blade Fury, though. That's the thing. Meanwhile, Tiny gets the kill bottom, which I think we all missed. I can hear Pim cursing in the background.
Shit.
No worries, no worries. Meanwhile, Dread looking for the TP cancel. Nice Fisher. Dread's blocked. He can't get there. What a play from Milan. Gogi finally gets to the top lane, and he is now 20 CS behind. He's got some catching up to do. I don't know how he gets back into this game, though.
It's crazy. He'll be able to farm reasonably quickly, but it's just going to be such a difficult game now. I mean, we didn't get much farm as well last game on the anti-mage, but now he's got a 20 CS disadvantage at 4 minutes in.
Yeah, it's not good. That's all I can say about that. And not only that, but the Enigma also has... He put out a bit of damage out of Gogi with Midnight Pulse and using the Eidolons as well, and Gogi was... Look at him. He's so squishy right now. 540 HP. Doesn't have a stout shield. He went for the boots first, expecting to be aggressive against this Enigma, who wouldn't have done much if he wasn't leveled up. But the Enigma's level 5. And now he's just bullying both him and Lazard out of lane. Lazard was able to get a couple of CS while he was down on that cliff, but still, look at this. The Enigma's just having his way with not only the lane, but the jungle as well, it looks like.
Arise is going to be in trouble. There's an IO wrapping around the back, and, well, they've got the tether if they want it, and they're actually going to tether to the illusion, which is going to get the slow onto Arise. It's beautifully done, but the Fisher coming in from Milan is going to save Arise's backside, and the gank is going to fail. Beautifully on the way out by goddamn to get the slow on.
That was something else. Using the illusion, using whatever he has at his potential, and now actually gets the bottle as well. Gonna bottle up Artez momentarily. No points in overcharge, so he can't bottle him up. Well, he could give him some extra mana if he wanted to, but still, he's gonna head towards that bottom rune spot. 5 minutes, no rune spawning. Mitch is getting zoned out. He's level 3. Like we talked about, the Enigma now level 6, having maybe a faster time with levels than one would in the jungle. Now they're going to jump on Mitch down to the bottom lane. There is going to be the throw, the toss, but no avalanche available. Stomp's going to go hits onto both. TP coming in now. That'll be the disruptor. Maybe they go for a glimpse back. They will. Goddamn, still tethered up. And they don't do anything to him after the Ninja just comes in and bullies, and now there's going to be the avalanche. They get the kill and might even die for Lazard as well. He doesn't have the mana to work with in terms of toss, but there's the slow, and Ninja just getting up to clip him with that big boulder fist to get him with that right click. Gets the double kill, and now he's up to 1,000 gold as well.
Yeah, glimpsing back there, just it was the worst thing they could have done, and putting more damage over onto the IO, who was short on mana anyway, had the bottle and was able to give Afanenji the little bit of mana that he needed to be able to turn around and go back in, and now we've got 3 kills over onto this Tiny. So 3 kills, 33 CS, and, well, how's Jug doing?
8 CS.
Oh, it's not good.
No, it's not at all.
Goddamn's in trouble. He's going to go down. The Fisher alone is going to be enough to bring him down, and Milan finds himself a nice kill, and that's going to be level 3, but he's running to Artez with a haste rune as well. Oh, this is not what you want, and, well, actually, it doesn't look like he's going to chase this one down. Artez decides that he doesn't want to press forward. I suppose when there's a Magnus there, you don't want to risk getting skewered into the tower. That could be a bit of a disaster, and Arise has obviously got his RP as well now.
I'm not sure about the solo kill potential either with this build. I think this build, when you go 204, is usually so...
Just harass.
I mean, yeah, it's more harass than anything else, and also dealing out damage when you have lockdown from another target on your team. Say, Enigma Black Hole would be nice, or Toss Avalanche, which they actually do have a lot of lockdown. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And Artez having a pretty good time, 33 CS, although Arise is not too far off. He's got 30 CS of his own, and now he's getting a stack of the jungle. No bottle, I think it's crowing. And you can go for that early Blink Dagger now, which I imagine he will do.
Oh yeah, for sure. Whenever Arise plays his Magnus, he's always looking to see if he can get that early Blink Dagger timing up and running, and then he can start making some huge plays. I mean, you don't even need RP. Just the Blink and Skewer is going to be allowed. Give him enough to be able to make some ganks happen, and well.
And there is a party bottom indeed. Mitch is getting caught out. Fadebolt not enough to get the kill. The overcharge. Ninja on the hunt. Mitch, last right click from Goddamn. No! You backed up too early, Ninja. Goddamn getting tossed back to the tower to deal damage. What?
Yeah, he just disjointed it with the toss. That was that was pretty nice. I don't know if Goddamn would have died to it, but it would have been really close.
Yep. That was a bit sketchy, but Ninja with the big plays to save his IO teammate. Now has money for boots. Will pick up the bounty room more than likely. Don't take it, Dread. Okay, good. Leave that for that IO.
So on an offlane Enigma, in terms of first item, do you still go for the mech, or do you maybe look to rush something like a Blink Dagger? Because he's got a lot of money saved up right now, and this could be either or.
I'm not sure if you go for first item Blink. I think mech is always really good on this hero. I'd be super surprised if it's anything else. Bottom there is going to be Mitch. Skewer is going to be an RP. Goddamn, but now they catch up top as well. Black hole on Nagogi. He's going to fall down. Meanwhile, bottom lane, I don't think they get the kill on Goddamn. Okay. All right, it's tough to keep track of both of those things happening at once, but...
Luckily, Matt, I was watching the bottom lane, and, well, they managed to get the RP over onto the IO, so they did expend that one. I think they were looking to try and get Ninja in it as well, but he was just out of range of it. Otherwise, it would have been possibly a double kill down here on the bottom lane, but luckily for this Tiny, he was just out of range, and he able to scamper off to safety.
That is a Midas, by the way, so the question is answered for us. It is not a mech, it's not a Blink Dagger. I've seen this before on offlane Enigmas. Yeah, I mean, this is... exactly as Charles said, NEL style of Enigma. This is not something you see every day. I'd like to be a more effective Enigma early on, but I guess if you can get away with it, although he is getting ganked. They're wrapping in.
He's in trouble right now.
Fisher, Skewer back. Goodbye, Gortz. It's been nice knowing you, buddy. Malphus is going to go Midnight Pulse to try to do some more damage to Rise, taking a bit of extra harass, but will stay alive, and nice kill. Artez Lane continuing to get this tower, this tier 1 in fact.
Has he got anything on the courier?
I don't think so.
No.
Oh, nothing for Artez.
Yes, but decided to go for the Soul Ring first, which you do see a lot of players tend to do now. And well, we saw Ninja the last game; he went for the Bloodstone. So I don't think this is the worst thing in the world, but I feel like the way that this game has started for Artez with. Obviously, he died early on, but he didn't exactly lose much gold from that, and he's managed to find himself a kill since then, sitting on about 50 CS just after 10 minutes. It's not too shabby. I'm surprised he didn't go for maybe an Orchid in the air. Bottom lane, Dread in trouble. He's going to get skewered back. The Fish is there as well. He's going to go down, and that's going to be an easy kill.
And this roaming gang squad from mYi, man, it's getting kills. It's been like the Earthshaker and Arise, and now they add in the Centaur as well, and it's actually getting a lot of kills, and that makes a lot of space for Gogi top lane, who now he gets up to 32 CS. Still not really where he wants to be, but he does finish up his bomb. No phase boots yet, though.
Yeah, he had to rush that, though. He just needs to be able to farm as quickly as he can in the jungle and try and flash farm a little bit and catch up. So it doesn't surprise me at all that he's decided to skip out the phase and just go straight in for the Mask of Madness. He's got the movement speed anyway from the active, so he doesn't actually need to go for the phase boots first, especially after getting cliffed at the start. And, well, mid lane, there's going to be a bit of a group up, 3 heroes, and they may be looking to see if they can get the combo. They do have the Static Storm as well, so they may be able to find a kill onto the Storm if they can skewer him back into it. Oh, they're going to turn their attentions on this Enigma again.
Yeah, they know that he can get punished with the Midas. It's very greedy, and if they kill him again, stops his farm. Skewer misses. Well, he actually canceled the animation. Now it goes. Static Storm on the relocate. Oh, now they get the RP as well. Goddamn's about to fall. Ninja, no way back out of this fight. Omni Slash is going to go just in time. Gogi gets the double kill. They will pick up 1 kill coming out from the Storm Spirit, getting glimpsed back as well, I believe. But it is still a 1-for-3 trade. And Arise carrying this game with all his might at this point in time. Beautifully.
Yeah, that was the most perfectly placed Static Storm as well, right onto the relocation coming in, and they were just not able to turn that fight around at all. Tiny still, the damage output was absolutely insane, but still wasn't enough. I think if they don't put the Static Storm down there, that fight goes horribly wrong for my Insanity, but as it happens, they're able to place it down perfectly and find themselves a very, very important pick-off. So 8-5 now on the board. Enigma, what's he going for next? He's picked up the Belt of Strength. So is this going to be a Necro rush?
I don't know what else you could build at this point. There is I think Halberd is the only other option, and I don't think that's really that great of an option here. I think Necro is probably the choice coming out for the Enigma, which is not something you see every day, but hey, it might work out. They're going to try to push. They realize that maybe their team fight isn't the best. They don't want to fight into RP Static Storm, Centaur Conqueror with, of course, or Centaur Warrunner with a Blink Dagger, which he's pretty close to. So Necro is the next best thing. Pretty good for pushing, getting those towers down, and also really good against Juggernaut as well with the Omni Slash. By the way, Artez goes for an Oblivion Staff. He's not going for that early Bloodstone like we saw Ninja go for. He's going to pick up an Orchid, so...
I think the Orchid is the more important timing, for sure. I definitely think if you have a decent start, then the Orchid is always an option that you should be looking to go for. Unless you have an incredibly good start, like we saw Ninja in the last game. Then maybe you can think about rushing a Bloodstone, but... just for being able to find solo pickups, especially on slightly underfarmed heroes, like the Juggernaut, for example... I think this is a perfect pickup for Artez this game. And, well, mid lane Dread, he's level 7, so we have got the spell steal online, and there's some pretty decent spells to steal this game.
Yeah, RP being the first and foremost, but Arise has dealt with his share of Rubik's, I'm sure, so... Stampede's also pretty good.
Disruptor roll is going to be nice. Fish is always really nice as well because of the no cast time, or the 0.1 cast time on Rubik.
Goddamn, that bounty rune's not worth it at all. You are dead. You are dead. A 4-hero gang squad, and that gets Mitch much closer to his Blink Dagger. Going back to the Orchid purchase, I like it because it also helps in team fights, and it forces people into BKBs or Manta Styles or whatever the choice may be. You know, Arise needs to be careful of getting that RP off and not getting silenced up and brought low. So I think it really kind of keeps my Insanity on their toes. And they're on their toes already as they are smoked up. They are looking for an engagement. They're so close.
You turned back. What did you do?
No.
Oh, he's going to run into all of them. He's going to go down. The burst damage is just way too much. And, well, Mitch is going to be able to finish him off with a swift double edge.
That's the Blink Dagger. That is the Blink Dagger for Mitch coming out now. He can just go by from the side ship. Side shot real quick.
Side ship?
Side ship. Yes, that's right. It's a ship. I don't know, man. It's been a long day. It's been 6 games of Dota.
Nothing wrong with the side ship. Maybe you need to post that on the dev forums.
Probably, yeah.
Themed map.
We've had enough of those. Let's just play Dota. Let's just play Dota, man.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under
5 to 10 to score. Net worth graph 2,500 for HellRaisers, kind of expected. They were at a peak not too long ago when, you know, Gogi was having a rough time, but...
Down bottom again, and Blink RP. Well, Blink skew is going to be a little bit off the mark.
We're going to miss. And Ninja getting close to Yasha plus Aghanim Scepter, 2 components away. They're going to jump in. He did not expect the Mitch Blink Dagger, but that damage is not really there. Fisher coming out. Omni Slash. Where are his teammates? Gets the stun. RP going in. Echo Slam. Goddamn falling. And that's a lot expended for 2 heroes, but they do get those kills. All 5 heroes bottom.
RP was actually interrupted by the toss, and, well, top lane, now they're going to be able to jump themselves in. And
oh, really?
Milan? Oh, was it Echo? Echo interrupted relocate. Nice.
Top lane. Fisher onto Artez, trying to go forward, has to back up. Centaur has Blink, but Artez, he actually zipped all the way back. He's going to have to hightail it out of there as everybody rotates up. The tier 2 not going to fall. What are you building, Enigma? Tell me, where is your item? What happened? He had like 900 gold a second ago. Am I insane? Oh, he went Blink. He went Blink Dagger. Okay. All right. I'm losing it.
Casual Belt of Strength.
Next level.
It's the new offlane Enigma build.
That is not what I was expecting.
It's got to be built into a Necro at some point. Well, I mean, maybe you just hold on to it for the time being. It gives you a little bit in terms of a little bit more survivability, and then you maybe do build it into a Halberd later on once the Juggernaut becomes a bit of an issue.
Maybe. I think what they were doing was they were like, okay, well, we need some more initiation. We need more team fight. We're getting jumped on. We need counter initiation. Get a Blink Dagger as he was building the Necro, and that makes the most sense. I don't... oh no, please, not again. I can't handle this, Artez. Somebody. All right, yeah. Well, we have a pause. And it might be a quick pause, but we're going to send it over to Pimp for our first replay of the day. Or not day, game rather. Pimp, what's up?
I mean, the replay can't be worse than my jokes, right? So we actually won right here, boys. All right, let's check out the replay. So Afternoon, once again, he scouted some people out, but he was just like so cocky because he's actually so damn farmed, and well, the game is going on, but there's no action just yet. So we can have a look at the replay. So Afternoon gets Omni Slash. There's the relocate. You can see it on the top side on the indicator of the ultimates, and well, there was the Echo Slam. Everyone just dunks anyone there. So especially the poor Wisp. And that's actually pretty huge, because if you relocate someone out, you use such a long cooldown while we have another disconnect. It is actually 90 seconds right now, so if you use this long of a cooldown, you better make it work, and it just didn't. So now, HellRaisers, you know, they have to work with what they got, and my insanity, they could just farm up the whole map because of it. So, yeah, that's actually a big deal. Back to you guys while we still are paused.
The pause coming again. HellRaisers, IO disconnecting. Shades of Team Tinker versus Power Rangers Game 2. I don't want to believe it. I refuse to believe it even. But it seems no matter what happens, I
can almost see the despair on your face. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, he reconnected. Oh my God. We did it. We are ready, Mad Dog. Good is called G, and we'll get back into the game. Let's go. Whew. Artez resumes. FNJ goddamn back down bottom. Relocate back up and ready to go. Blink Black Hole ready as well, as he has hit level 11. Level 2 Midnight Pulse does a bit of damage to work with. Actually, Maxi Malefice. And now actually mYi all really sitting around mid and bottom at this point. Not really extending their reach up into that top lane. They seem to be a bit worried. Artez has gotten picks up there as well. Gogi now getting room to work with. He was at one point at 0 CS at 3 minutes into the game. Now he's up to 7k net worth, almost tied with the top farmer being the Tiny, who is very close to his Aghanim Scepter. My Insanity now making a move towards the Roche Pit, while their 2-2 tower is getting assaulted top and is very low as well with no glyph. And they'll go for a trade. It is going to be Roche instead of defending that tier 2.
Yeah, HR should know this as well. If there's no one coming to defend this tower, then something fishy's going on, and that means you're either getting smoke ganked or you're losing an objective somewhere else, and none of their towers are being pressured, so you would imagine that it's the Roshan.
Yeah, and because they know this, they're going to keep going top. They'll keep going until they see something forced down. Milan will be the first to TP, the first to break. They will back away. They'll put some pressure with the Eidolons. You know, it's not only HellRaisers, apparently. They paused for Mitch. Wow. What a manner pause. Craigasm. Maybe it's Valve servers. Maybe it's not what I'm thinking it is. The what shall not be named. But we can only hope they're back in soon. The all chat, nice. Very friendly all chat as well. He has reconnected. Nice. Dino's back, everybody. Dino disconnected. He's back. Round of applause for Dino, everybody. Our admin.
Rips.
Give him some shoutouts.
Just got DC'd.
Did they? Oh, Pimp just updated us stating that servers have in fact been DC'd. There will be one day of Dota 2 someday where the servers won't go down and we'll have a clean day of Dota.
What?
What?
Yeah.
What? No pauses?
Serbia. Because we are on the servers, right? So we can't be disconnected.
Oh, I heard servers. I'm sorry, dude. I can't help
literally
your accent, man.
All right, what? You shut up right now. I'm just kidding. All right, boys, have fun.
Well, we're back into the game. Servers and whatever else is fine, it looks like. Gogi's going for that SNY. He's getting close. He's got the Sans recipe. He actually has enough money for it altogether. The SNY will fly out shortly. There it is. Yeah, there it goes. He's going to take the Ancients as well. Everyone's top currently for HellRaisers, man, and maybe it's just the pause, but we've kind of hit a lull in action. Affinity does pick the Aghanims up, and I don't know, man. Like, you can't really relocate aggressively because of the threat of maybe a static storm. Do you wait for like a BKB if you're Affinity, or maybe do you try something sneaky or aggressive soon?
I don't even think you do, because when you're relocating in, especially at this sort of stage of the game, around about that 20-minute mark, you're very much reliant on the IO to be able to back you up. And if they do relocate and the IO gets glimpsed away, then it's going to be really, really difficult. And Ninja might just find himself in a whole world of trouble. And so I'm not sure.
Ooh, Gogi. Nice. He got the healing word. Nice snipe. Good work.
Can he get the deny? That's the question. He's looking for it. He really wants it. He needs to be careful because Gogi does have the Omni Slash available. And
I think he realizes.
Yeah, he's not gonna go in.
But he's fine with it because down bottom they get the tower. Dread does get Fisher topped in the jungle. Milan coming in. Nice telekinesis. Steals Fisher and blinks out. Nice play. Get that Fisher, Dread. Now TP.
Well,
there we go. Skewer gonna miss. Stop though. Does hit and the glimpse back. And he was doomed from the start. But meanwhile, one of the best rat duos, Tiny and I, are going to work before they even have an assault cross. Fisher's going to come in, doesn't block. However, Milan looking for maybe an Echo Slam, can't find a kinetic field, not catching. Glimpse, I don't believe, is available. It's down for 4.
3 seconds.
Mitch now coming in, the Spirits doing some work. J says, I'll see you later, dude. Goddamn, does get Glimpse back, and no, he's done. That's it. At least they got the Tiny out. There's that. Oh, there it is. They lose 2 supports quickly, but they make so much space on the map that, look at Enigma in the top lane, up to 3k gold. Will he finish off the Necro? Will he keep the Belt of Strength casually? Will he go for something else entirely? We'll see.
I think the Necro is a great shout here. Honestly, with the split push that they're able to achieve with the Tiny Wisp, I mean, you touched on it now, where Enigma has just been able to just come to this top lane completely unopposed, push extremely aggressively, knowing that his Tiny Wisp is causing all sorts of problems down on the bottom lane. And, well, you're only going to be able to cause more problems as an Enigma if you manage to pick up a Necro well in the jungle. Artez maybe looking to see if he can find a solo pickoff, but this is going to be a really, really hard one. And in fact, he's going to get out. He's in trouble. They're going to use the Static Storm. They're going to use everything, and he's going to get completely blown up. There is going to be a black hole on Mitch, and, well, he is going to go down, and the glimpse back as well actually might save your Enigma here as the blink out comes in from Dread, and they're going to be able to get themselves a 1-for-1 trade. Not too bad at all there for HR.
Yeah, well, again, you talked about miscommunication and the effect of having a stand-in on your team, and that might have been it. The Skewer was coming in. He might have gotten caught by that black hole, but it was about to end anyways. In the meantime, though, they saw the Storm Spirit, and they know now that there is a gem. Relocate mid just to farm. That's some greed right there. But you know, as somebody that likes to hit creeps, I don't really mind this. Affinity is like, hey, free CS for me. And then he gets right back to the jungle to farm the next set of creeps. Meanwhile, top lane, they find out. Gortz, they get the kill. Gogi brings him down very quickly with that SNY. RP expended, but probably worth it just for that kill. That pesky Enigma has been staying top too long, they say. And they'll give Gogi some room to work with up at this top lane.
Yeah, but again, I mean, we just see how HR being able to put so much pressure on the map, and when you've got the Tiny IO, this is always going to happen. There is a little bit that you can do to try and stop it. Obviously, having vision is great, and in fact, forget that because Ninja, you mentioned it, he's now got the BKB online, and, well, top lane, they're going to find out Dread. He might be in a little bit of trouble. He's going to get critted down, and that's going to be an easy kill to go in the way of your Juggernaut, who, by the way, has caught up incredibly well. I mean, he caught up reasonably well when you mentioned it earlier, but he's now pretty much on par. Well, he's about 1k gold off this Tiny, which isn't too bad, bearing in mind Tiny has got an Aghanim Scepter and is farming like an absolute machine right now.
Yeah, they do give Gogi in power, though. That's the thing.
Exactly. In comes Tiny.
They're going to go for him. Gogi in some trouble. Might go for that Blade Fury. And he does pop it off at the right time. Really, really holding on to that. Nice waiting. Kinetic Field going as well. And Affinity with no blink, no way to get any closer. Although Midnight Pulse, Malefice is going to connect. They're going to relocate in. They're trying to find Gogi. Omni Slash is going to go. They need to split the damage, and they will. Gogi back to full health, though. Going to work. Lazard getting orchided up. Static Storm off the mark. Ninja chasing him down, and he has that BKB. Now Mitch in trouble. Can't stop, can't do anything to Ninja, but they cannot secure the kill on Mitch. Instead, it's a 2-for-2. Now the Blink Stomp coming in. Arise, skewers it back into the Enchant Totem. Echo Slam might come out as well. There it goes. They get the kill. Beautifully done. And now the Fable 2. Dread now getting Echo. Can he get the kill? Pops it off, and the last right click secures it, but Dread is going to fall in the end. Doesn't seem to mind. Gets a core kill. Turns into a 4-for-3. And the only survivor is going to be Artez. What a fight up in that top lane. I don't know what the hell is happening.
absolute bloodbath up there. And the problem with Artez at the moment is he actually ran out of mana once he initiated originally. And unlike Ninja in the last game, he doesn't have that Bloodstone to be able to maintain him throughout fights. So once he jumps in and expends all of his mana, he's actually got nothing left to give. And then he just becomes a bit of a glorified creep. So at the moment, Artez, he maybe needs to find a little bit more farm. He's now picked up the point booster, so he is going to work on the Bloodstone. But with Tiny taking all of the farm around the map, it does become a little bit difficult for Artez just to be able to find these mid-game items.
At this point now, it feels like at this point, HellRaisers, although they have a number lead in terms of net worth, the momentum is growing for mYi, and once the Scouty is done for the Juggernaut, he's not going to be unstoppable, but he's already difficult to deal with some extra HP, with the slow as well. This Tiny IO combo might have to rely more and more on relocate into maybe getting the bottom racks or split pushing, going for some rat plays specifically. We'll see what they decide to go for. As now top lane is getting pushed up by Arise, they really want this tier 1 tower.
Yeah, it's an interesting draft actually coming out from HR when you think about it, because if the game had been going a little bit better, then they would have been stomping and it wouldn't have really mattered. But now we're at this point in the game where actually they're not doing as well as they maybe would have hoped, and they are going to have to rely a little bit on the split push. In the one sense, the Enigma is great for that, but you pick an Enigma potentially just for the black hole, for the midnight pulse, for the ability to actually take team fights, and just the threat of team fights can be sometimes enough alone. But if you're going to go team fight, then you've got to go all in on team fight. And I just feel like in these team fights, HR aren't going to be able to compete against the RP, the static storm, even just the blink and hoof stomp coming in from the Centaur. There's just no way that they can take 5-on-5 engagements, and well, they're not going to. They're just going to force the issue, and it looks like they're going to group up on this bottom lane and see if they can take a tier 3 tower.
And they're going to find Milan. He's going to get caught out. Artez actually ball lettings further. RP coming in, gets canceled, stolen. No, that's a power black hole. Now it doesn't. It only catches on to Mitch as it looks like the buyback coming out from Arise as he gets blown up. The static storm, they walk out of it. The BKB's paying for themselves, goddamn. Just barely clipping through. Gogi chasing after him. Now there's going to be some Eidolons created. They're going to man up. Gogi's like, I need to get out of here. This was not the right time to fight. They get the pull on. Now the RP coming in. It's on it too. Dread only steals Shockwave. That's not the ability he wanted. Omnislash coming out, blows up the IO. He buys back as well. Gogi getting caught. They'll get the kill onto him. Suddenly, the team fight now going the way of HellRaisers. Toss up into the air. Lazard is dead, and they lose 4 heroes. And the only buyback available is going to be Gogi, and he doesn't have his Omnislash. Arise is going to have to do some work, especially without RP. They will use the fortification. How far does J and HellRaisers go to get this tower, to get this Rax as well? Echo comes in on the backside. The Blink Echo, the skewer back. J survives, but just barely. Now falls coming out. They get the kill, and Chance stolen. Artez's TP scroll canceled. He gets to the high ground. Might make it out. No, I don't think so. Arise blinks onto the high ground. Milan fights goddamn as well. He just bought back, by the way.
For sure, in 2 seconds.
Yeah, I think he's gonna go down. And Champ misses. He needs to run into him.
Maybe he doesn't get his kill.
It's gonna be close. Misses another enchant totem, and goddamn actually survives somehow.
There's no tower here. They can pressure this if they want to. Fisher again in 4 seconds. Goddamn, is in trouble. Oh, he manages to get the wisps though over onto the Magnus, so that's going to stop the blink, and he's actually going to get out because of that as well. Nicely done by goddamn.
A miracle. He shouldn't be alive right now, and he knows it, I'm sure. That's ridiculous. Meanwhile, a huge fight for HellRaisers that broke out on that bottom lane, and forcing out a couple of buybacks. Arise specifically needed to get that RP off, and well, he had to buy back for it, which of course delays his refresh orb a little bit, and also gives a lot of gold over to Tiny.
Yeah, just as I was saying that HR can't take fights up against My Insanity, they take an absolutely brilliant fight on the bottom lane. The only thing you would say though is My Insanity, it was a bit of a... it wasn't exactly a very organized fight coming out from them. It's not like they lined up a perfect RP, followed it in with a hoof stomp. They have Echo Slam, they have Static Storm, they have all of these great team fight abilities, but instead it was more like they just ran in one by one and just got beaten down by this Tiny.
And again, communication maybe being a factor here for the new squad with Arise standing in. mYi now looking to Roshan, looking to get back on top of things, and this is probably the time to do it. No black hole, relocate is up, and I don't know. There are wards, but they smoked up. They see Lazard nearby. They placed it up Super Ward right where the Radiant one is. Arise on the high ground, RP ready. I don't know. You almost have to be suicidal to fight into this, though. That's the crazy thing, is there's just too much to deal with on the side of mYi, and especially at the Roach Pit, which is a very consolidated area.
Oh, Artez was looking for it. He was looking for it, but he was just a little bit late on the timing, and we're going to see the Aegis getting snatched up straight away. No chance of a steal there.
One thing I will say, you talked about Artez, is that you compare it to Afro Ninja's farm last game.
Yeah.
He's severely underfarmed, man.
But that's just how greedy their lineup is. I mean, when you pick the Enigma and you have the Tiny as well, I mean, we've seen how greedy this Tiny IO combination has been, relocating to the mid lane just to find farm. It just means that, you know, one of the heroes is going to suffer, and this so far this game, it has actually been Artez.
Yeah, Artez is really... And I think they really need to put a higher priority on his farm, but such is life at 30 minutes into the game for HellRaisers and their purple player. But now the Assault Cuirass is done, so if they can find some time to hit the buildings, they'll fall in short order, because half an inch... Artez, what did you just find? A refresher orb recipe. That... I can't believe it. Oh, man, Arise is sick. Arise is puking.
Oh, that is a big deal. That would have been a really nice item to be able to have against the next push. And, well, in the river, we're looking at Milan, trying to maybe make a go on Dread, but he's going to be able to lift him away and blink away himself.
Dread is going... He's chained in by this 18-second cooldown. He wants that 2-second cooldown with Aghanims, understandably so. There's a couple of Ags upgrades. 3, in fact, which are pretty solid. All of them very good Ags upgrades, but it's going to take him some time to get there. If this game goes long enough, that could be a big play, because we talked about how impactful the Static Storm has been. Now Dread, if he can get some of these abilities, maybe he could be the one to, you know, change the way the fight goes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, you talk about Aghanim Scepters, though, and actually Lizard down here, up here on this top lane, he has nearly finished the Aghanim Scepter. He's about 500 gold away, so not too bad at all in terms of timings.
Screw your BKB. I want my Static Storm to hit you, and I want it to be great, and you're going to die. So Ninja has to be very careful. And not just him, but the Enigma as well. It's not easy to deal with. Artez now finishes up the Soul Booster. Soul Ringing, he's going to grab the Bounty Rune. Nice little quick snag. And we've devolved into farming. Nothing's actually happening right now. mYi, despite having the Aegis, they don't want to be aggressive, and it looks like Gogi is going to grab a BKB as he has the Ogre Club. I think that's the right choice. Keep yourself alive, and be able to fight a bit harder. So,
yeah, I think that's a nice decision. Against the Storm Spirit, he's going to be zipping in, looking to try and disable you, looking to try and get that Orchid off. I think BKB is a must for this Juggernaut this game. And well, there's finally your Bloodstone finished. Over onto Artez, talking of the devil. Pretty late timing indeed. But, I mean, he hasn't been able to find too many pickoffs as well. He's only been involved in 6 kills so far, 32 minutes into the game. It's not exactly what you expect from a mid lane Storm Spirit. And that's just because of the way mYi and Sanity have been playing. They've been grouping up as a 5 a lot. And rightly so. I mean, they've got a decent 5-man team fight. So, against the relocation and the Storm Spirit, it makes sense to move around as a group. And, again, we're going to see them do so this time in their own jungle. But it doesn't look like anyone really wants to fight right now.
No, then there's an Observer Ward here for the Radiant side. It's a bit far off. I don't know if they scattered them out. I think it's just really good play from Artez not staying in one spot for too long. By the way, I want to point this out. As an SNY on an Enigma, if Montpax was still here, I would ask him, but I might as well just do it myself, how many SNYs are picked up on this hero. I can't imagine many. I guess that's one way to make use of your...
What?
Belt of Strength, I guess. I joked about a Sanjin and a Halberd, but I never thought SNY would be the... I guess movement speed or something. Who knows? He's pretty fast.
Movement speed. I mean, this is a truly core Enigma, more than we've ever seen before.
Very farmed.
Well, the Disruptor has finished his axe now, so that is online, and they've also managed to buy themselves a smoke as well, so it looks like it might be time for mYi and Sanity to maybe take a fight. Maybe this was the item timing that they were waiting on.
That refresh orb coming out, yeah, that's a big deal for Arise, and they're ready to go. Well, they're thinking about it. And Lizard and Milan going to lead the way. Blink Fisher, Blink Echo, whatever they want. If they could find a hero, they're going to go for it. They spot out F and Ninja, and goddamn, they don't go for them. Instead, they might just push down mid, take the tier 2 tower. Maybe go for 4 with the tier 3, but I think more than likely they They wait a bit, and then they go for the tier 2 in the top lane. They're not in any rush, but also they waited too long.
They did.
The Aegis
problem
is
is
gone.
as well, Artez is just pushing up here on the top lane, and he's just making sure that if they do want to commit down towards the mid lane and try and take this tier 2 tower, then the relocate possibility going actually up to the top lane and taking the tier 3 is gonna go down so quickly that it almost questions whether you can actually commit all 5 heroes towards the mid lane. As it happens, they do, and well, here comes the relocates. And they've had to TP back, and Ninja now he's going to be in a bit of trouble. We see the team fight come out. There's going to be the Echo Slam. There's going to be the Stomp from Mitch. They're trying to lock him in here. Ninja, is he going to be able to get himself out of here? He's so goddamn tanky. He's trying to run around. He's got the Thunder Shock on him, and that is going to be the last thing that ticks him out, and the kill is going to go the way of Lizard. But it does mean that Rubik is able to deny the tower in the mid lane, and
look how much damage they did at the top range racks. And that is permanent damage. That is not. There is no Treant Protector. The tier 3 tower is dead as well. The tier 3 tower falling bottom. That's not good. Meanwhile, Glib's back onto the Enigma, but he's not going to get caught. Too speedy.
Have you seen Storm Spirit's recent item pickup?
I have not. I'm going to see it now. Well, Artez, I think that was your choice maybe 20 minutes ago. I'm not sure about at 35, but maybe he thinks this game's going to go late enough.
Got to get that reliable gold.
You know, I've seen stranger things like in SNY and Enigma, which, by the way, unless I'm reading this wrong, this is the first time I think an SNY has ever been built on the hero. I could be 100% wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's correct. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think we'll question you on that one. And well, the push is going to come, and it is going to be in the mid lane, and now it's going to be the side of mYi and Sanity that want to try and force the issue and bring down a tier 3 tower of their own. And well, look at these heroes. Look at how they're grouped. They're just getting ready to jump in, and they can just have this Juggernaut sitting on the front line with the healing ward just behind him, and he's just going to beat down on this Rex. And what do you really do? The counter initiation is so strong coming out from mYi and Sanity. It becomes very, very difficult, but now they're going to go by the looks of things, and instantly the Blade Fury, and it's just going to be... In comes the Black Hole. It lands on 3, and Rise as well. He's not going to be able to get off the... He's not going to be able to get off the RP because Artez is jumping to the back. Now he finally manages to get off the RP, but it's only going to be 2 heroes. It's going to be the Rubik going down. Artez has got to get himself out of here, but the Glim's back. They didn't actually manage to bring anyone down during the duration of the Black Hole. It's an absolute disaster for HR right now. Artez is on the run. He's going to get crit down, and now in the mid lane it's going to be Mitch. He's the one that's been initiated on, but his team's coming in around the side looking to maybe back him up. They don't have the RP because they have already used 2 as well, and now he's going to be able to throw a couple of heroes into the air. The damage is absolutely insane. In jumps Mitch. He's going to be able to find the hoof stomp. This is going to stem some of the aggression for the time being. They're just trying to get Goji out of here as fast as they possibly can. Force staff and everything. Now Skewer as well from Arise. They want to get themselves the hell out of here. Jumping ship faster than the captain of the Concordia.
Meanwhile, bottom lane, the range racks taking damage. The melee racks as well. If they had relocate up, they would be in there in a second. But they unfortunately do not. Arise getting the refresher orb, hitting a one-man or I think it was a one-man RP in both situations. Gets a couple of kills, but really good solid fight for HellRaisers. Huge black hole. And then Artez, like you mentioned, jumping in, getting the Orchid on Arise, stifling him, making sure he cannot get that RP off. And Arise is like, well, I definitely needed a BKB at this point. That shouldn't happen at 38 minutes of the game. And with that fight, it almost feels like that wasn't their all in. That fight didn't cost them the game, but that gives them so much room for HellRaisers that they get a Manta now on FNJ. And every single positional movement coming out from mYi and Sanity has to be questioned. Do we leave our base at this point? What do we do about bottom? What do we do about top? Can we push mid now? Can we go for Roche? All of the lanes have to be pushed out. And the problem is now that they're having trouble getting across the river, which is the biggest issue. And FNJ will be, he'll obliterate the Raxes. It'll take 2 seconds for him to bring him down with an overcharge from an IO. So it's very, very, very dangerous. You have to be very cautious here for your mYi and Sanity. No, they're not cautious. Milan gets caught out. Telekinesis. Artez going to try to get this kill. RP coming in. Echo Slam as well. Gets off. Gets the enchant totem. Skewer onto 2. There's the second RP coming in. No, the first one was canceled, actually. Artez. Now Static Storm's going to go. Did he suicide? Absolutely not. Arise gets the double. And it's HellRaisers who are not cautious. They're too aggressive for a support Earthshaker kill, and Arise benefits from it.
Yeah, that time around, mYi and Sanity timed their abilities absolutely perfectly, stun locking the Storm Spirit in place for exactly the right amount of time, and they did need the static storm in the end to be able to find the kill. Otherwise, he was zipping out of there. And to be honest, I think it's worth it being able to bring him down. It's a fairly big kill this time in the game. I mean, any kill on a core is going to be decent enough, and they expended a lot for it, but they've just got it. I really feel like mYi and Sanity are in a really problematic position right now, because as you keep mentioning, anytime they leave their base, they're leaving themselves open to just get raxed.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. Playing against the IO, and more specifically the tiny IO, it's so difficult. You have to be perfect with pushing out the creep waves, and it's pretty much just housekeeping at this point. And Roshan, it benefits them to have a very early respawn. And finally, HellRaisers, they've been denied one too many times from the Aegis. This time they'll get the Aegis and the cheese. Who do they give what to? Maybe drop treads? I don't know. I'm pretty sure FNJ, does he have room for this? I don't know if you want to give away the treads. You have a lot of movement speed with the Manta style, but still. Okay, here they come. Milan's looking to jump in. No Echo Slam. Static Storm is in fact ready. FNJ might get caught. They could try to get their BKBs off. It's on the ground. Who's going to take it? It's Artez. Cheese is still up and available. Black Hole onto 2. Omni Slash jumping out of goddamn Hillfall. Does have buyback. Arise finally gets the RP off. He's got the double. Will he get it? Looking for second one. He gets it onto 3, but does end up falling. Gogi's on the cliff. Gogi's on the goddamn cliff. Artez now jumping up. Dread as well. Gogi, telekinesis. He's going to fall. He does have buyback. Artez, rather... Arise does not have that luxury. Alpha Ninja getting the triple kill, gets the Roshan. They pick up the Aegis as well for Artez. Who has the cheese? That's the real question. Is it anywhere? It might have already been used for all I know. And it looks like that's the case. It's not in the pit.
Gogi after this game is going nowhere near cliffs ever again.
Yeah,
he is so unhappy right now.
He's not going to be rock climbing anytime soon. Gogi is like, I'm done, man. That's it. I can't get any more unlucky at this point in time. And those were beautiful RPs as well from Arise, but there's just no follow-up. Mitch coming through, misses the stomp as FNJ just walks away, looking for the tier 3 mid. Rax is gone bottom, and this is it. This might be the beginning of the end. HellRaisers might take this 2-0 right here. Daedalus now done for FNJ. Mitch so low. Midnight Pulse and the Eidolon's doing so much work. Now jumping on Lazard as Artez, going under 2. Big avalanche on the Gogi as well. He's got the Blade Fury. Might not get it off. Telekinesis. Did he just buy back for this? Pops the BKB. Going under Artez, but that is going to just be the Aegis. Mitch getting cleaved down. Blown up as well. Lazard now throws up the Yules. He's going to get caught. Look at that toss avalanche combo. Lazard, he's done so. Buyback coming in for Mitch, just trying to do anything to keep this game at least somewhat even, but they've already lost 2 racks. The top lane is exposed, and again, HellRaisers, they're just a couple moments away from taking this series 2-0.
Yeah, this is the problem. I mean, you can leave your base, you can lose a fight, and as soon as you do, you're just going to get punished so hard. And we talk about like how when you lose a fight, sometimes teams can take an inch from you. Well, it looks like HellRaisers, they're going to be able to take a country mile, and they are just absolutely dominating right now. Artez is going to jump in, silence over onto the Earthshaker. No Echo Slam for you, buddy. They are going to be able to bring down Alpha Ninja, and, well, Arise baiting out the RP again. And this time Artez has got to get himself out of here.
He should be okay.
I think he's going to be okay. No, they're going to chase this one. They're going to use the Stampede. They realize that he hasn't got enough mana to be able to get himself out of here. Mitch, is he going to be able to find the Stomp? He's going to have a blink in 6 seconds. Artez... There's the Yule Scepter, there's the stun, he's locked in place, in comes your Juggernaut, and, well, with the crits, down he goes. Do they have a chance? I
don't know.
To actually win this game, I still feel like this is just too difficult. Even if they push right now, then there's just going to be a buyback from the Tiny, and you're going to get megaed.
Yeah, I mean, unless we see some outstanding double RPs from Horizon, I mean, that's the thing. I want to say that this game is probably over, but nothing is over with double RP. But conversely, nothing's over when you have Black Hole as well. I don't know. There's just too much on the side of HellRaisers. In fact, Dread finishing up his Aghanim Scepter, a 2-second cooldown. They lose their Radiant Courier. Nothing was on it, which is nice. Goddamn goes top on his own.
Okay.
Get it. Get that tower. You're going to do it. Goddamn, I believe in you.
It's fine.
They glimpse him. Oh, Lazard gets him.
My Lizard.
Oh, no.
Welcome back. Just try and bring down that range Rax. 51 HP, but you're not going to get it. 22 HP, that's the max you're going to get.
Now they're pushing mid. There's no buyback for the IO. Is this a Rax mid? Tiny doesn't want to buy back right now. They glyph it up.
No way of getting to the Rax either. Yeah, this may have been a huge misplay.
This is going to be at least the Rax, I think. They do steal stun. They're going to go in Arise, pops BKB maybe a bit early, looking for Artez out of mana now. Oh, that was a misplay. but he can BKB after this. Oh, Black Hole onto 2. Arise gets out. Maybe he can RP. Mitch and Gogi solo. Now RP onto 2. Will he get another one off? Omni Slash going in. They lose 1. Now the second RP. Dread and FNJ getting brought down. Artez, now he's low. He actually gets halberded. 4 down. Buybacks coming out. 1 going to be up now on the tiny FNJ. They get the Enigma as well with no Black Hole. They don't have another RP. Oh, that just got them so much. Whew. I know their 2 racks is down, but it's still plausible. It's still in the realm of possibility for the side of my Insanity. But can it happen? That's the real question.
They have literally done everything they could have done to keep themselves in this game. If they'd done anything even slightly different, then this game would be over. And, well, top lane, the relocate's coming in, and there goes the Mega Creeps. It was that quick, literally that quick. Ninja does need to get himself out of here, though, and the tether has been broken. Goddamn's going back, and Ninja is going to be stuck behind. He's got to get himself out of here. He doesn't have buyback mount, and, well, BKB's going to get popped. Juggernaut is going to go to town. The Scardy is hitting on him. Ninja maybe in a little bit of trouble. He's going to try and throw some of these heroes away, but they're not going to be able to do so. Now the Static Storm coming, which is too much. He's not going to be able to get himself out of here. He is going to go down, and well, with no buyback, dead for 115 seconds. Can my Insanity actually do this right now?
It's so tough. It's so hard. As you can see already, Goritz is going into the base. You have to have somebody back there. They're lucky to have their tier 4 tower still, but one is below half health, and it's about to fall. No glyph either. Is there a glyph on the dire side? Absolutely not. It's all in time here for my Insanity. Can they pace this faster? They still have to deal with 3 heroes. No Enigma. He's actually going to purchase a TP scroll. He realizes he can't push fast enough. Are they going to be able to do this? The Mega Crypt is there. Gogi getting silenced up. Blade Fury is available when it comes out. Black Hole not there. Pops the BKB for Goritz. Mitch now getting telekinesis. The Ancient is exposed. It's ready to go. Can they get it done? Gogi getting kind of low. Buyback coming in. Abyssal onto Artez. Does he have buyback? Absolutely. And he might still go down. Gets halberded, now gets the double kill. Artez carrying this game on his own. There's the Echo Slam. Omni Slash going in. I think RP just went, and they get 1 kill. Dread is low. He Blade Fury's buyback coming in from the IO. Artez still alive. Gogi trying to do it all on his own, and I don't think he can. Buyback's about to come in from Artez. That was their last chance, I believe. And that might just be it. Arise has to defend the Ancient. As back home, the Mega Creeps, they're going to work on this Ancient, and it looks like it might just end right here.
They had to go for it, though. There was nothing else they could do, but the game is over. Arise can't defend against this. He's going to die. He can't even bring them off the Ancient, and it's going to go down. That was so close. I thought for a minute that was going to be one of the biggest throws ever coming out from HR, but in the end, they don't get punished for their mistakes, and the Mega Creeps was just too much to deal with in the end.
Theoretically, you'd say, okay, we have Mega Creeps who've won the game in almost any situation. In this situation, it was closer than anticipated. HellRaisers come out with a 2-0 victory. Arise with some amazing RPs. His first game at Shadow Fiend, he had some amazing plays, but it's just not enough. Gogi and the rest of the squad getting back after, of course, that awful cliff at the 0-minute mark. What a game, Wakey.
2 huge cliffs for Gogi. He did not have a nice time on those cliffs, experiencing at both ends of the map. And, well, when you have a horrific start like that, to be able to take it into a 47-minute game against a Tiny, it's always going to be extremely difficult, no matter what lineup you've got. And to be honest, I think my Insanity did pretty well to just be able to keep themselves in that game for that long.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. My Insanity certainly showing resolve, but it's just been so tough for them. They lose every single game since coming here to Dota Pit Season 3, replacing Virtus Pro. And that'll be the end. That will be the end of my Insanity in the group stages as they go down 0-2. Well, their only victory coming at the hands of Empire with, I think that was Virtus Pro doing it. And they'll be 1-8. More than likely, I think they're actually short for the bottom spot as no other team has only 1 win. So really well done from HellRaisers taking the series. And as always, a great set of games today. 6 games on tap, like we mentioned. They're all over. Wakey, do you have any closing thoughts before we head out of here?
No closing thoughts from me. Keep it short and sweet.
It was a pleasure to have you, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Super fun time casting. 3 different casters today joining me. Pitmunkle staying through as always, producing, observing, and he is dead tired. It is late over there in Germany. And of course, with that being said, we will take our leave. Guys, before you do leave, make sure you check out One Game Agency organizing the tournament, as well as High Ground TV producing and bringing you the action. You can check us out at High Ground TV on Twitter, at MottDota for myself, at WakeyPixel for Wakey, at Pitmunkle, who does production, at MottPax, although he did have to leave a bit early. Check him out for his awesome stats and jokes. Guys, we'll be back in 2 days with EG versus Power Rangers. That'll be at 20 CET. And that'll be a great 2-game series. We'll see if PR can rebound from their losses earlier today. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys next time.